When I first saw German Tiger tanks, I never thought I would be sitting in one of them. Back at the beginning of 1944, I was a driver mechanic on a T-34 tank. I had been fighting on these machines for 2 years, had been hit and burned 3 times. I received several medals and was considered an experienced driver. At that time we conducted heavy offensive battles and our brigade had lost many tanks. But we also did not remain in debt to the Germans. Once I was called to the battalion commander. I approached his tank, but 4 of our guys from different crews had already gathered there. We stood and were at a loss as to why we were called. Soon the commander appeared and we lined up. We were told that we were called as the best tank crew members of the battalion, a special crew for the new Tiger tank. We looked at each other in surprise. We knew nothing about the captured Tiger. Yesterday the German tankers had sunk the tank into a deep crater and could not get out. The Nazis were in such a hurry that they had not even damaged or blown up anything in the vehicle. Our technicians from the repair company pulled out the tank, checked it, and reported that it could be sent to battle even now. So our hero got in a crew of the tank, Tiger, and his acquaintance with this machine took place. The crew was given 3 days to master the machine. The repairmen painted crosses and drew big stars on the sides. They also took a radio from their knocked-out tanks and installed it on the new Tiger. The German tank was much more difficult to maintain than the Soviet tank, but it was much more comfortable. The Tiger had its advantages and its disadvantages. I was impressed by the driver's seat of the mechanic. Steering was very easy. I was not as tired on the march as in our tanks. The Tiger was a very heavy tank and the T-34 could give it a head start in passability. So we chose our routes carefully so we wouldn't accidentally drown the tank in some swamp or stream. It was a good tank, but with its stubborn capricious character it did not give us peace of mind. One thing would break, and then another. Gasoline must be clean, otherwise it would not go anywhere. Very soft undercarriage with staggered arrangement of rollers. Sometimes it was possible to fire from the move. But once the bearing of the inner roller broke, so our repairmen swore for a long time until they got to it to replace it. Anyway, our commander highly appreciated our beast for its powerful and accurate cannon, which more than once bailed us out. The armor was also good for its time. But as a driver, I did not really like the view from the mechanic's seat. The observation while driving could only be done through the observation goggles, so the view was very limited. Sometimes on the march I would ask our radio operator to sit next to me and lean out of the hatch, which was offset to the side, to keep an eye on the road. But our gunner admired the clear glass optics and the gun control. The only thing he didn't like was that it turned very slowly. It took a full minute to turn the turret fully, which in combat might not be enough time. The tank had a great, powerful and accurate gun, except that the muzzle brake heavily disguised the vehicle when fired. But for the power of the gun it was not too high a price. 3 days later, after our crew received the Tiger, it was decided to try it out and shoot the gun. A route was planned for a night approach to the position where the Germans were holding a large village. When it dawned, the commander of the Soviet Tiger with the binoculars saw the German self-propelled guns standing in the village square. The machine stood near the house with its right side pressed against the wall. The Germans had not even hidden it, they thought they were safe. We defined the distance up to the aim was 1,800 meters. The gunner took aim and fired. We saw fire erupt on the armor of the self-propelled vehicle. The next shot was also accurate. The self-propelled vehicle went up in flames and then the house caught fire. We saw Germans running around like ants. This episode became the baptism of fire for the Soviet tank, Tiger. There are different opinions about the further fate of this machine, but most of the facts agree that the tank was soon abandoned. As it was not always possible to get spare parts and shells for this equipment.